Now, I'm not going to get too carried away in this video.
Man United might not thank me, but get the contract out, put it on the table.
But I don't think it's a stretch to say that this was easily one of the best performances United have had probably since the Fergie days. And I was looking at that starting lineup, and I, alongside many other fans, were worried about what Carrick was throwing out there. But he was proved to be absolutely spot on. And Mbeumo up top instead of Seshko Cunha, well, that worked out. Dogu left wing instead of Cunha proved to be a very smart move, and Dogu had his best game in a United shirt. It felt like an old Ole game up against Pep City, where you sit in that sort of mid-block, you deny the central passing options of a City, you press when you can, but then when you get the ball there in United, you're getting the most dangerous players in the most dangerous positions. And the likes of Mbeumo, Fernandes, dropping deep at times, providing those passing options. But then you've also constantly got players running in behind then. We had a few goals choked off for offside, but when United eventually got their goal, it wasn't against the run of play. United absolutely dominated this one. And Lamens is not going to have much easier games in a United shirt. But let's get on to my 5 talking points from it, guys. As always, drop a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new around here, and let's get into it. So first off, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what Carrick did with that starting lineup. I'll talk a bit more in depth about the tactics side of things in tomorrow's video, so make sure you stay in tune for that one, guys. But straight off, when you're looking at United starting lineup, there was so many people questioning how you'd get Mbeumo and Ahmad into the same team. Well, Carrick did it perfectly in this one. Obviously, there's going to be other games now where you're struggling a little bit more and you may need someone like a Seshko up front instead. But having Mbeumo in there proved to be an absolute masterstroke in this game, and it was something that I was questioning. Can Mbeumo play up top? Has he played there very often? But he showed that he actually can play there in this game. Obviously under certain situations, playing up against a City team who are going to have largely more of the ball. But Mbeumo in certain situations can play up front now. Ahmad on that right-hand side, I mean, he was the absolute key for a lot of what United were doing. He was dropping deep, helping Dalot at times, helping him with Doku. But then Ahmad, whenever he got the ball then, was really stretching this City team. In the press, I think Ahmad was vital as well. The running that he was doing. All round, just top performances from the both of them. And top performances pretty much from everyone in the United shirt today. But Fernandes as well. Having him in that number 10. I'll speak more about it later on. But him in the number 10, we've known it for months. It's pretty much common sense. Get him in that number 10. He's one of the best you've got in world football. Just playing him in CDM, you're never going to get the best out of him. So straight away, obviously, the job that Carrick and Fletcher previously have done is getting Fernandes playing further forward. Then also with Mino as well. So many people question, can he play in the 2 in midfield alongside Casemiro? Many people thought that he could, and he did prove it right in this game. Obviously, we're going to need more games of evidence to really see long term whether it can work, but for me, I've always been a big advocate of getting Mino back into this team, and he did play really, really well in this game. Then also with Luke Shaw as well. I think pretty much everyone in this defence had a very, very good game. Dalot, very, very lucky to escape that early red card. He should have got sent off. I was worried at the time. When they checked and cleared it, I was saying happy days because I was really, really worried. But Luke Shaw, I think we played him at left centre-back, playing him left wing-back. But playing him at proper full-back, again, just proper profiling, getting your players in their best positions. With Luke Shaw, playing him at left-back, that's where he needs to be playing. Especially with United playing 1 game a week now, there's no reason why Luke Shaw can't continue to be there. But secondly now, Bruno Fernandes. Because we know his chance creation stuff is absolutely top. It was top even when he was playing in CDM. But now, getting him in that number 10 role, you've seen it for that first United goal. Mbeumo's running through, but Fernandes has a couple of options. He delays and delays that pass, plays it at exactly the right time, and Mbeumo, he has it on an absolute plate then. Fernandes, that's just what he does. So you want him playing as close to the opposition goal as you can. Obviously, it wasn't just the attacking side of the game either. The role that him and Mbeumo did, blocking those central passing lanes, he tirelessly just run around all game long. Hasn't long just come back from injury either. But the work that he was doing, him and Mbeumo up top, really did set the tone for everything United did defensively in this game. Again, Fernandes, for me, he should be talked about with the likes of De Bruyne. But for some reason, I don't know what the stigma sort of is. Obviously, the petulant side of things with him, he doesn't get talked about alongside those type of players. But for me, he's just as good. And then thirdly, talking a bit more about Kobbie Mainoo. Because again, I had so many people for so many months when Amorim wasn't playing him, they were telling me that he couldn't play in a two-in midfield. He couldn't play in the same midfield as Fernandes, as Casemiro. Playing that sort of 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, whatever it is, with Mino in there is never going to work, they said. Well, it worked pretty well in this game. As I've said, we need more evidence now whether it can work long term. But I've always said, I said it last summer, we should have been looking for a partner for Kobbie Mainoo in this United midfield. But instead, United spent all their money on attackers. But now, obviously, I think Casemiro had a very good game in this one. Dived into a couple of dodgy challenges, but overall was very good. But there's no doubt now that we need in the summer to look at that CDM spot and really address this midfield now. But we need a partner for Mainoo. The fact that United were looking to genuinely sell Mainoo in this January transfer window is absolutely absurd. And those United higher-ups need to absolutely give their heads a shake. Penultimately, talking a little bit more about the role of Patrick Dogu in this game. Because without him, I think you don't get the defensive solidarity. Obviously, him alongside Luke Shaw on that left-hand side didn't let much go past them whatsoever in this game. But also offensively then, you're just allowing Ahmad to push a little bit higher on the other side because of Dogu's positioning a little bit deeper on the left-hand side. So you're obviously getting Ahmad in the more dangerous positions then. Dogu was able to use his physicality throughout this game, winning fouls whenever he needed to. The goal that he had was just top wing play, getting in front of that fullback, showing that determination, showing that desire, and he showed that throughout this game. I think long term, obviously, we're going to be looking at it, and he's not going to be the left winger, obviously, that we really do need eventually. But it shows how good he can be in certain situations. I think he's still going to be a left back long term, but I want him to take the confidence from this game now into certain other games, into games that he's playing at left back. It's really frustrating with Dogu because at times you're looking at him, and even in that Brighton game last week, I was really, really critical because defending was just simply not good enough. But in certain games there, when he shows that confidence, shows that fight and that desire, he can be a really good player. So that's the player that I want to see now going forward. And last up now, I'm going to picture Maguire, but I'm going to talk a bit about Martinez as well. Both of them in that partnership, I mean, they kept Haaland quiet. City just had to take him off in the end because he was very, very ineffective. City probably should have put a few more crosses into the United box, tested him a bit more that way. But Maguire just coming back from injury, very, very good performance yet again. Again, another very, very underrated player. Martinez, there was a lot of talk, obviously, from Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes in that podcast before this game, how Haaland would bully Martinez, but that didn't come to fruition because Martinez had a very, very good game. I do think, obviously, United now, we just need to get a little bit more consistent partnership back there. Obviously, Maguire now, can he stay fit? That's the big question mark surrounding him. Well, because he's out the contract soon, and you're looking at it, well, if he can't stay fit, then does he have a place in this team? But when he is fit, he's still a very, very good centre-back. Martinez is still obviously going to be huge question marks surrounding him. He hasn't been very good recently. But again, showed how good he can be in this game. So it's the same for a lot of these United players now. Can we take this game now and really work on it? Can we show this level of performance against everyone in the league? Don't just do it for the big derby and when you're playing at Old Trafford. Can you do it week in, week out now? And that's going to be the big question mark for this whole starting 11 and this whole squad going forward. So there we are, guys. We obviously can't get too carried away. It's just one game, and there's going to be games where we're expected to have more of the ball. How do you break certain teams down? I mean, even against Arsenal next week now, away from home, how do you handle those sort of things? Playing away from Old Trafford, obviously playing up against a very, very good team where United will largely probably look to set up exactly the same in that game. But can you still obviously provide the same sort of attacking threat then? There's still going to be huge question marks long term for this United team and the United board. But a game up against City when you dominate this much, I'm going to enjoy this one. As always, guys, drop a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Stay tuned for the tactics video I'll be coming out with tomorrow morning. I'll see you there, guys.